I want to play college baseball. So how do I get a college scholarship? Today we're talking tips and advice for the recruiting process. And I have here with me Ethan Guevin of Keep Playing Baseball, which is a nonprofit organization that helps baseball players navigate this issue. And I'm Doug Bernier with Pro Baseball Insider. So Ethan, I want to play college baseball. So how do I get a college scholarship?
Biggest thing you have to understand in terms of the baseball scholarship is there's a really good chance that you're not going to get one. There's this misconception that baseball is a full ride sport, which it's not. So, football is a head count scholarship sport, right? They have 85 scholarships. If you're on scholarship, you're on a full ride. College baseball is an equivalency scholarship sport. So at the Division I level, for example, the team has 11.7 scholarships to divide up among 35 players, right? And there can only be 27 on scholarship. They can't be on any less than 25%. But if you do the math, considering that there's still going to be a handful of walk-ons, at least 8 by NCAA rule, you're looking at a scholarship that's going to cover just a small percentage of your cost of attendance if you're lucky enough to get one of those scholarships. And that's for programs that are fully funded, right? So there's a ton of college baseball programs at every level, and the scholarship allotments are different. 11.7, 9 for D2, D3 has 0, NAIA has 12, JUCO has different agreements depending on what state you're in or what governing body. So I think the biggest thing to understand is there's a good chance you might not get a college baseball scholarship. So the best way to get a scholarship to help reduce the cost of playing baseball in college is actually academics. So taking care of business in the classroom, treating your SAT or ACT like it's the World Series. A lot of people don't realize how important that test is. It might not mean anything to you, but if you can put up a really good number there, then now you're talking about some academic money, which can be really substantial in reducing the cost of attendance, right? So not only is that going to help you get a scholarship, but that's going to help you expand your opportunities, right? You're going to have a choice. There's a lot of schools where if you don't meet this criteria, we can't recruit you, even if you're Bryce Harper, right? So, I think it's really, scholarships are misunderstood. The way to get them is misunderstood. You see a lot of people going to these expensive showcases or exposure events, trying to chase the scholarship when if they just saved all the money that they were spending on those showcases, it would probably equate to the scholarship amount that they're actually going to get. So there's a lot of ways to reduce the cost of playing baseball in college. Academics is huge, outside scholarships, and then hopefully you're good enough and lucky enough to get one of those baseball scholarships. But, you have to understand and do your homework on what baseball scholarships at the college level actually entail, so you have a realistic perspective going in and planning your recruiting process.
Right. And 11.7 isn't much. And kind of following up on this question, like I have some people that will say, oh, I have a buddy and he got a 4-year scholarship, for this amount or whatever. Can they change the dollar amount or the percentage that you get year to year?
They can. So, a lot of the Power 5 conference schools and conferences have gone to a guaranteed scholarship for 4 years, but the amount can change. Really what scholarships are, they're year-to-year agreements, and you can, by rule, they may not be. But if the coach tells you, hey, you're not going to play here, so you might want to look somewhere else, you can stick around and be a student and have your scholarship. But if you're a serious baseball player, are you going to do that? Most aren't, right? So you have to be really careful with that. It's kind of a slippery slope. And the bottom line is that, the more competitive the baseball you're playing, the more competitive the level, the more cutthroat and business-like it is. And knowing that scholarships are, limited resource for a lot of these coaches, it gets really competitive, and coaches are pretty good at finding a way to move move guys along if they don't feel like they're pulling their weight. So to answer your question, yes, there are multi-year agreements in name more than practice when push comes to shove.
Well, it sounds like a good way to combat all that is like what you said, just be strong when it comes to your academics, treat the SAT, ACT, study for it, treat it with respect, and work hard. Like you said, treat it like the World Series. I think that's great advice. All right. So if I want to play college baseball, when should I contact college coaches and how should I do it?